environment like this, but of course his health is the most important thing, as each week is a progression to getting back out on the field.
Teams are on the field, just about set to kick it off. You'll see the visitors in their white strip, rarely seen, and Columbus Crew SC wearing their now familiar black kits trimmed in gold. Tonight's first half kickoff is brought to you by Pepsi. Pepsi is the official beverage of Major League Soccer and Columbus Crew SC. Beautiful night here at Mapfre Stadium. Kickoff temperature 84 degrees. It's partly cloudy. The breeze has picked up. There is a chance of a shower moving through over the course of the night. It's been particularly humid for this time of year. We'll see how that impacts particularly Seattle, a team that's accustomed to playing in cooler conditions and is in the midst of a lot of travel. Pineda is down. Took a hit from Kai Kamara. Edvin Jurasevich is over to clean up the mess.
Talking very early on in the match day build up to this one, Saeed's importance in a game like this, not only defending but aggressive early. Pineda and Alonso, they like to flutter passes back and forth. Sometimes it'll look like Martins and Dempsey are on their own, but the attack is that potent where they can keep numbers in the back and trust those guys to create up top.
Ball back into play. Pogatetz will nod it back to midfield. Second touch of the head. And an attacking throw in on the right side. James Conley, Jonathan Johnson, and Soren Stoika are the remaining members of the officiating crew here tonight. At the baseline, diagonal ball back towards the 6 is knocked away by Pogatetz, who's seen a lot of the ball here in the opening 2 minutes or so.
Seen a lot of Obafemi Martins through the years, and Clint Dempsey this time at Middlesbrough, although that's 7-8 years going back when they had a few encounters. And after Middlesbrough was relegated, Pogatetz took off.
Sounders setting up camp in the attacking half of the park here in the early going. In is Miram defensively, and he plays the ball across the byline. And that'll be our first corner kick of the evening. This corner kick is brought to you by Thrifty Airport Parking. Thrifty's valet service takes the hassle out of airport parking. No surprise that Chad Marshall, in particular, a guy that Columbus Crew SC has to keep track of on the set-piece attacking balls.
First order of business, though, is to get it to him over that first defender.
Harmless shot from distance wide of the mark. Let's welcome in the third member of the broadcast team along the touchline. Here is Ashley.
Well, guys, earlier today, Greg Berhalter told me that what he needs to see from his team compared to last weekend is really just a full 90 minutes of concentration. So I asked him what specifics he'll be looking for on the field tonight, and he said really he wants his players playing with a certain type of awareness, knowing that every sort of play out there will have some sort of action or reaction. And so because of that, he needs his guys to be aware of consequences. Guys?
Kai Kamara lets it rip from above the D, picked up a deflection as the ball went wide of the mark, and will be a corner kick for the home side.
Nice work direct as Miram kind of floated inside. That left a little bit of a pocket for Kai Kamara, and early on, just test with a shot. Put something towards goal, get a deflection. Here you got the game's first corner for Columbus.
Pipa. Touch up in the air. Nothing more than that as it's cleared. Saeed. Throw in Columbus Crew SC. Fifth minute of play. Saeed, who has played so well in the absence of Will Trapp, is going to make it that much harder for the coaching staff to sort out the starting lineup once the young U.S. international is back. Chance to visit with team Dr. Pete Edwards on the field before the game, and Will's coming along. Finley. Kamara. Oh, it's a great ball out wide. Jimenez, top of the channel. Kept alive, or is it? Nope, it's going to drift over the end line, and that's very good ball work, but in the end, again, a cross that just isn't good enough.
Finley's interior run opens up that wing for Jimenez to run onto, and this is why he's in the lineup. They think he can be a little bit more efficient with the crosses in the final third, or that final pass. So far, 0 for 1.
Finley starts it out, Neil, but here's the ball from Kamara.
And that's his ability. Hold it up. He can be so dynamic. Fleet of foot. Even a new haircut. Sporting it tonight.
His barber thanks you. Pogatetz up strong against Rose. Touched upon this in the pre-match show. The commitment from Seattle Sounders in the offseason was to get a little bit younger. And Remick is the guy, the left back that they talked to. Got some minutes early last season due to injuries, but right now is one of 2 guys Siggy Schmidt says is capable of starting at that position.
Yeah, this team wants to win a title now. Not that they couldn't win one in 2 or 3 years from now. They've got an excellent academy. They started S2, as well as 7 other MLS clubs in USL. But to blend that with the veteran leadership, finally looking to establish their group.
Rose on the move and puts the ball directly into the chest of Pogatetz. I don't think it's unreasonable to say that Seattle's the best team in the league to never have won an MLS Cup. Kamara, diagonally back to the top. Higuain, pump fakes, right-footed shot, deflected, and it goes straight to the goalkeeper as pleas for handball on the part of the home side. Fall upon deaf ears.
It's a fantastic outlet from Justin Meram down into the channel for Kai Kamara on the left. Draws Brad Evans out. Good solid run in the penalty area by Ethan Finley. That opened up even more space for the third guy, Higuain. He took his time, very similar to the casuality of Dempsey's shot last week, although the deflection and Fry had the cat-like reflexes.
You pointed out on a couple of occasions now, Neil, that this is a Columbus Crew SC team that is playing well enough, with the exception perhaps of the home match against New York, to win games. Well, there's a couple of good opportunities right now that just have to be finished better. See what they can do on this occasion. Service from the right side is blocked away by the young man we were just talking about, Remick. Still adjusting to seeing Seattle without all of that, what do they call it, foam green?
Rave green.
Rave green,
yes.
Sorry. Foam, that's the football. Martin's plenty of room to work with right in the center of the park. Flat pass brings in Rose as Mears overlaps him. 8th minute of play. Rose, good cutback to the left shoe. Not much on it, but on target. Quickly out is Clark.
So far, Seattle recognizes that with Papa tucking in offensively, there'll be more concentration on him, not naturally thinking that Rose will pick up the slack, but he can. He's a versatile player, playing central midfield. They've already angled his side 3 times within the first 9 minutes.
Pogatetz accelerates into space. Here comes Higuain. Faces the attack, looks up, eyes his options, goes backside for Jimenez, who got in deep to the attack. Now Francis with a floater. Kept alive by Finley. Good stuff there. Jimenez. Shawnee. Shot. Struck it well.
It's these crossfield runs early on of Ethan Finley that are creating some mischief. Go back to the last sequence in the Higuain shot. He then hustles, keeps that play alive. Sets up the nice shot for Shawnee, but just not enough on it.
Minute 10. Again, the play of Saeed has allowed Shawnee to really take on a role similar to what he played last year alongside Trapp. Sealed off was Meram to that ball. Francis is in. Francis again. Kamara!
Topic of conversation all week, better runs in the penalty area, and of course, a better final pass. That's Kamara deking right, coming back left, and what a ball from Waylon Francis. In front of a pretty good defender, if I must say, a three-time defender of the year. They wanted more conviction out of the runs of Kai Kamara from a week ago. Sets the table there, and now matches Obafemi Martins at the top of the scoring charts. Great play.
With that one exception, home has been very, very good to Columbus Crew SC this season. There's a long way to go in this one, even with the early lead, but the stats speak for themselves. When Columbus Crew SC scores first, they are nearly impossible to beat. Right down the middle. Game effort there from Evans. Miram flips over the ball. Referee's not interested. That didn't look real good, did it?
No. Well, Edwin Juricevic might have thought that he got there a tad late. That is Miram's run that I'm speaking of, with Rose closing in on the ball. Pineda, 200-plus games in Mexico, has always been a feisty one. Picked up as a free agent. Johnny will never back down from an argument. Let's take another look at the non-call. Miram gets that toe to the ball first. From that angle, it looked like there was light contact.
It was that contact that spurred on the next little challenge and then the extracurriculars. But these are two teams that expect to compete for a league title. Neither side will back down. It's a good outlet for Rhodes. Pineda. Dempsey, who really hasn't been involved much thus far, got a touch that time. Pineda again. That one goes off Saeed, but from a Columbus Crew SC perspective, bounces gently to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, that's textbook how you want to defend the duo up top. Saeed was staying with Dempsey, and Martins with the two guys behind him. You can look at the superlatives when scoring first, 3-0-1. Of course, still looking for their first ever win against Seattle at home. Most of their victories coming at CenturyLink Field.
Great anticipation from Kai Kamara. Read the body language of Brad Evans, realized he was going to play the ball back, and immediately made the run that forced the ball out of bounds. Didn't turn into anything on that occasion, but something to keep an eye on. DC United keeps things humming. Home to Sporting Kansas City. Jairo Arrieta has netted his second of the season late in the first half and up a goal at home. Just beyond the extended leg of Finland.
You can see a little bit of that synergy that Jimenez and Finley, they played in the latter stretch of 2014 together. And while that's still developing, when Grana is in there with Ethan, you can see the timed run perfectly. The nodding header was just too heavy of a first touch.
Statistically speaking, the numbers favoring the home side thus far. Seattle's a 90-minute team. Going to stay with their game plan. They'll take advantage of opportunities as they present themselves, keeping in mind they were down a goal in their last road match. No help, so he has to slow a little bit. Takes a couple of white shirts wide with and then serves. Kamara's header, a little bit off balance. He says it was deflected, and the man in the middle agrees.
That's textbook Osvaldo Alonso on Osvaldo Alonso, with Higuain stepping into the passing lane there and doing a fine job, and then roaming free out wide to the right. Kamara's on his game right now, and it's corner kick number 2.
Higuain. Jimenez gets the clearing touch, plays Finley. He's going to bend it in backside. Up goes Kamara, can't reach it. And then forward for Martins. Quickly surrounded, but finds his way through the tangled legs. 16th minute, 1-0 Columbus, the Kamara goal. Columbus Crew SC completing 85% of their passes thus far. 9 crosses now to include that most recent corner. Papa comes well to the inside. Fights off Miram, finds Martins, touched away, and then shot from distance, and it's deflected in, but it will not count because of Femi Martins was in an offside position. And he really doesn't seem interested in arguing.
You can see what the infusion of a guy like Marco Papa can do for an attack. Of course, this is the end product from Pineda. Dempsey beyond the last defender there. Of course, with these new interpretation of offside rules from time to time, that was clearly a deflection and not played. Take the evidence of last week's Salt Lake San Jose game or the reset, but good call by the officials.
Pretty ball movement there as Crew SC moves in the attacking half. Not the best decision though from Waylon Francis as he tried to take on a couple of Seattle players on the dribble. Possession though with the home side. Leading edge of the mid-third. Now above the channel goes Francis. Diagonally is Higuain. Sounders players look for the flag. They don't find it. Cross comes in. Johnny! Brad Evans still arguing his case about the lack of an offside call. Johnny in a couple of times now, Neil.
Whether Higuain timed up that run or not, if we get another look, it's the other guys that take the defensive line all the way back inside their 6 and allows for that late run of Chani. The space is open. It's a lot better in terms of the runs, the integrity, the conviction. Crew SC through 18 minutes when they are in the attack.
Darker clouds out beyond the east side of the stadium. Players on the left side for Seattle. Dempsey into the box. First there, though, is Michael Parkhurst, and sends that ball into the sideline seats. Not quite as wide open as we thought it might be to this stage of the match. Has frankly been much more one way than the other.
Great thing about a team like Seattle, the anticipation when they have the ball, they can make something happen with the 2 they have up top. It's been a very fun game to start. Regardless, the scoreline and product, of course, if you're a Columbus fan, you're loving every minute of what the attack is putting together.
Putting together an attack now. Pipa tries from distance, struck it well. We've started to see that from him a little more regularly this season. That shot from 20 to 25 yard range, and he really strikes a clean ball.
He's got it in his arsenal. Doesn't always have to be a chip. I think goalkeepers, now that they've seen that out of him, will respect it a little bit more. Let the laser go. Fry's already had to make several saves. He made over 6 last week at Yankee Stadium.
It's an excellent point. They have to respect that shot, which changes the way they defend it. Martins working back closer to the halfway line than the goal line to get the ball. Then it's lofted over the top, but harmlessly winds up as a goal kick.
So far, the back four of Crew SC, they've done an excellent job communicating, staying intact, always mindful of who may be trying to sneak in behind, whether it be Martins or Deuce.
Deuce is in now on Clark after the Crew went short on the goal kick. They find a way out, though. The mostly black and gold. And look at that entry pass. What a beauty! Great save, Fry. The follow-up. Finley's left-footed strike is tall. What a pass from Higuain.
Fast and furious. They're coming in waves. Just hope they don't rue the chances if they don't convert. The thing that's interesting about this whole sequence, it's a great ball by Higuain and Merritt. What you didn't see was an overhit ball by Steve Clark that Pineda was going to pick off. Credit to Mohamed Saeed. He chopped it down, steadied it, settled it, and then started the break the other way.
That one's going to drift out of bounds on a couple of bounces. Crew SC hosts rival Chicago Fire on Friday, May 22nd at 8 p.m. here at MAPFRE Stadium. That is the next home game for the black and gold. You can celebrate the end of the work week and the start of the weekend. Beer and brat packs just starting at $30 per person, including a couple of tickets, 2 ice cold beers, and 2 brats. Visit ColumbusCrewSC.com. A rare Friday night game, historically speaking.
Good team to have coming in. We're going to play on Friday night with the Fire.
The supporters love when the Fire come to town, don't they?
Lost a couple in a row now after their 3-game win streak. Salt Lake getting a big win on the road.
Dom Dwyer on the stroke of halftime. Leveled the match at 1 at RFK with United. Mirren trying to fit a ball in behind Evans and in front of Fry. For Kamara, achieved the first part, but couldn't get the final. Philadelphia's woes continue. Down a couple as they get close to halftime against Vancouver. Here's news. Montreal played a league game today.
They're still around.
And they lost 2-1.
Fantastic run by them in the CONCACAF Champions League. People wondering why can't they play like that more in league play? Well, still got to figure some things out.
Good piece of possession here by Seattle. It opens up for Dempsey. Bender! We are tied. What a great shot.
Makes his home in that pocket. And I was just about to make the point, for all the full throttle in the first half of this attack, and how important Saeed is, you've got to be able to mark up. That's too late of a reaction. And it's all the time he needs to turn. Pop that right past Steve Clark. Ziggy Schmid was leery about the road start. Another long trip. Maybe a little sluggish to begin. When you have that guy, when you have Obafemi Martins, no deficit really is too small. And all those chances could have been 2. 3-0 for Columbus. But now we're in a tie scoreline.
Seattle Sounders just calmly staying with their game plan. In fairness, they have been chasing things a little bit, but you could just see on that occasion, spacing was good, ball movement was good, and then just no pressure on Dempsey. Into the box, Kamara had his back to goal, lifted his leg up, did get a touch, And his shot attempt is off the mark. Goal kick.
See maybe the aggravation now in Columbus. The urgency to get back at the attack. Not bad heat on that ball by Jimenez, just a little bit behind.
Both teams pushing close to 90% in passing efficiency. And after a lot of one-way traffic, the opening quarter hour, the possession advantage is actually tilted to Seattle.
Cognizant now of the last couple of attacks, the one goal that was flagged for offside that went in the back of that, and then Dempsey's. Both balls have worked into the middle. And early on in the game, when they were working the right side, Seattle, Columbus had done a pretty fair job of keeping Rose out on the periphery, but now they found Papa a little bit into a groove. Once Pineda and Alonso can distribute from centrally, then things open up for them.
Got to look at Siggy Schmidt, working hard on the Seattle bench. As good as it gets in the history of Major League Soccer. Certainly a name that was seriously bantered about the last time they looked to select a U.S. national team coach. The job, of course, went to Jurgen Klinsmann. It's a huge flash of lightning off in the distance and a man down for Seattle. And now play will be stopped in the 27th minute, tied at 1. It's Clint Dempsey. Like he's holding on to his left cheek, or maybe just above that, outside the eye.
Former Premier League guys. Kovacic using that arm to get a little leverage as they chat it out. I'd say belated congratulations to Ziggy. Hall of Fame.
Well deserved.
You know, there's no building that exists. Always loves coming back here. Been a treat for the fans so far with all the skill on display. You have the top three atop the goal scoring charts now with Dempsey 6, Martin 6, now Kamara who had the opener. Good stuff through 28 minutes.
Not perhaps quite as fast up and down the field as many expected, but certainly 2 goals in the opening half hour makes sense.
Go back to the point of, if you're a Columbus fan, you're loving the attack.
And there's no question, you've talked about it several times, they have created some really high-quality opportunities. Dempsey back into the play. Mears is on the right side, pings a pretty good-looking ball in, skips past a couple of black shirts, ends up in the opposite channel. Baseline move, lighted out, inside the D, header from Dempsey. Couldn't get a lot on it, but it is goal and saved by Clark. Another look at that floater in. Difficult to generate a lot of power off a serve like that, but credit to Dempsey, who got up high and at least gave it a chance. You mentioned the lightning bolt that flashed off in the distance. That is something that the match officials are always tracking.
Last time these two played here on the fairgrounds had about an hour delay.
Still in play, and then the whistle comes in. And the call goes against Ethan Finley. Liquid refreshment for the coach. eventually, I'm pretty sure they're going to put the ball back in play. Stephon Frye all the way out near the corner flag. Seattle gained possession. Iffy little heel touch. So poked away by Tony Tchani, but it's a throw into the visitors. Chad Marshall out of the back with Brad Evans. Two big pieces of that 2008 MLS Cup winning Columbus Crew SC team. Martins just dodges the pressure of Saeed. Right down Highway 1 in front of Dempsey. Put his hand up as if to play the ball, didn't. Clark dived down and poked it away. And I'm going to tell you what, Neil, I think that there has to be a call at that point. When Clint Dempsey extends his arm and waves it at the ball. Here's another look.
Yeah. I would tend to agree with you. I'm more concerned with the way Columbus's defense looks as they didn't recognize Martins, who will drop into a more attacking role in the midfield as he interchanges with Dempsey there, and they let him run in behind. Talk all week was the moments of concentration that burned him on the goal here tonight. As Seattle finds their legs, they need to refocus themselves defensively.
Ball played in, up and off of Michael Parkhurst to the quarter arc. Pineda goes. Josh Wolf over the shoulder of sporting director and head coach Greg Berhalter. Good news is that little thunderstorm, which is east of the stadium, continues to move away as the ball's put back into action. Chad Marshall floats a header up into the wide side of the 6-yard box, but Clark out quickly to collect it.
Chad a little upset with himself. He didn't get that down quicker. He had Brad Evans with a little inside position. Better ball from Pineda.
Crew SC fans fondly remember his play in the air, but let's keep in mind in 2008, winning header to get to the cup, and then the header to win the cup against Chicago and then New York.
Out-jumped a pretty good player in that Eastern Conference final, if I recall.
Indeed he did. Finley's quick, but I'm not sure the Flash would have caught up to that ball. Good look, though. There was some space there. He trots back. Kamara with the game's first goal. Clint Dempsey, the equalizer. So the guys you expect to put the ball in the back of the net have obliged. Looking for a way out of the back. 10 first half shots now by Columbus Crew SC, twice as many as Seattle. The only number that matters is each has put one by the opposing goalkeeper. Dempsey checks back into that role Neil was just talking about, often filled by Martins. Comes back alongside Clint. Little triangle set up. And then Mears on the near side. Whips the ball in. Pretty good one. Ogatex. Entry pass for Rose. Pineda. Rose again. Above the byline. Good ball. But Benny Martins up. His header is high. 1-1, minute 34.
So interesting to see both styles in terms of how both these teams go about their passing sequences. Casual, take the space you need, working back to the middle. Columbus, you want to still up that tempo. The gap integrity has been a lot better with Pineda and Alonso, with even Papa tucking in to keep clear of where Higuain is. He was roaming free in the first 20 minutes. Jimenez going on the foul here.
They get a little something extra. The referee not thrilled with this particular effort. Jimenez making the case that he did get the ball, but as you can see in the replay, the ball was out of bounds. And I think in the end handled properly by the arbiter. Went over, had a word. Short play on the restart. Seattle. Pipa extends. Looked like a non-contact flop to the turf. See about that. As Alonso trying to run away from Pipa. Grabbed him a couple of times and Alonso goes down.
Good brush of contact, but a delicate fall. One thing now, Alonso, though, maybe recognizing when Higuain steps out to press him a little, he'll take off and go upfield.
No question, anytime you extend your arms, you make it much easier for the official to blow the whistle. How about that combination? Well read by Brad Evans. And a good thing, too, for Seattle. Otherwise, Kamara was in alone. 9-1. Minute 37 to begin. Changes the point of attack. Goes to the opposite touchline. Ball chipped back in. Pokatetz gets there before Rose does for Seattle. Miram towards Higuain near the center circle. Finley helps up, helps out, and then goes down, pops back up, and quickly puts the ball back in play. The classic attacking formation by Columbus Crew SC. Francis all the way out in the touchline as Chani got the ball in the center channel. Pokatetz stepped up. 2v4 right now, and I think Chani made a good decision by playing it back, and then Parkhurst will go the other way. Said filled that space, provided the linkage between the center back and Jimenez.
It's fine to be patient here.
Patient may be rewarded if Francis can get a good shot off. Not this time. It is deflected, however, and a corner kick.
They're talking about a double-digit passing sequence of their own to create that opportunity. And Jimenez puts that in. It's a dangerous ball. Miram just a tad late. Good settle by Francis, though, to at least with the deflected shot corner kick.
We've seen Said often on these set pieces, but it'll be Pipa again from the opposite side. First time tonight, right in front. Miram was lurking. Strong hands from Fry, but then a really bad decision as he rolled the ball out to Pineda, has it poked away by Said. Kamara. Chani at the D. In the box, Miram. Left-footed shot, not much on it. Nearly, though, got underneath the diving Fry. A little frustrated, he seems, probably with himself.
Great recovery by Said to win that ball. Miram's weaker foot. And Seattle hedged him that way to avoid any further damage.
Miram. Higuain, ball played away and directly to Clint Dempsey. Martins goes down, looks for some help, doesn't get it. The Crew will quickly play the other direction. Pokatetz gets the outlet from Clark. Crew SC 5-match plans now available, offering the flexibility to select the matches that work best for your schedule. Visit ColumbusCrewSC.com for your chance to win 2 5-match plans.
So far, Brad Evans doing his best to hold his own when he's ISO'd against Kamara. They're looking to release him any possible opportunity to get in behind. Been a better recovery now for Columbus over the last 3 or 4 minutes.
The wind has really picked up. A hint of moisture now in the air. 40 minutes of play, tied at 1. Kamara for Columbus Crew SC, then Dempsey for Seattle. Sounders attacking now, ball in from the right side, one timed away by Pogatetz. Laid back to Chani from Higuain, and the pair exchange the favor. Good recovery by Seattle. They've now got 7, they get 8 outfield players behind the ball.
Another benefit to having the 2 they have up top. They don't always have to necessarily rely on extra midfield help in the attack. I'm sure they've got Papa coming inside, providing part of that trio, but Pineda and Alonso find their P's and Q's better that way.
Challenge between Kamara and Marshall goes the way of the ex-Columbus Crew SC center back, Martins. Dempsey benches run away. The ball's played out wide. Dempsey's in the box. Pogatetz at his shoulder. Chip just wide of the back post as Clark went up full extension. Not sure if that was actually a shot from Rose or just a cross that got away from him, but either way, it was nearly in the back of the net. What the heck? I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say it was a good shot.
Andy Rose's confidence grows as his games increase. Number 65 now in his 4th season out of UCLA.
I'd like to see Columbus Crew SC put a bit more pace in the attack. Last couple of possessions have been more deliberate, and Seattle's been able to get numbers back and organize. Pipa from 25. Didn't get a clean strike that time. Shot is well off the mark.
Calling for fast casual, are you?
Fast casual, sure. At Neil Sika, at Ashley Ignelzi, at yours truly. We'd love to hear from you. Read us your questions, your comments. Minute 43. Early in the game, looked like Seattle was extending their pressure a little bit more at this stage. Maybe it's just because we're getting near to halftime. They've backed off a bit. Saeed's just above the D. Had about 10 yards of space to work with. Ashley Ignelzi, 21. I neglected to add the number there at the end the first time. Dempsey with one of those 2 digits, the 2, has his pocket picked beautifully by Pogatetz. I don't think there's anybody more surprised by that than Clint Dempsey.
And Seattle, with Martins and Dempsey, nearly did what they had done a week ago to end that 18-pass sequence. Keep the one guy defensively in the pocket. Once you bring up 2, that's going to open up the gap. The other one runs behind. Pogatetz, excellent job of getting over to fend off Dempsey.
Initial indication is 60 seconds of time to be added at the end of the first half at the discretion of the referee. Saeed, very, very good on the ball in tight spaces and just showed us. A little miscommunication there between Pipa and Mira. Mira was moving to space. Pipa was trying to combine with them. Another big flag for Lightning goes to the east side of the stadium. And Pogatetz is going to be booked on that hit from, in the opinion of the referee, behind on Martins.
Both these teams went around the same 50-50 balls. Size advantage in lunge. After already the physical challenge with Dempsey. Edvin Juricevic already keeping an eye on the physicality of Emmanuel Pogatetz.
Minute 45. Entertaining first half here at Mapfre Stadium. Two teams that would be king of the league. Both clearly capable of it. Marshall tracks back, plays Fry. Higuain is there. Taking a look, Neil, at the bench. Papa John's Pizza. There is no substitution for fresh ingredients. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
I think it's necessary right now for the two halftime subs we saw a week ago on the same bench. Stein Dorson, Lamson, Flutie, Schoenfeld among those. And Grana, which was the big question. The fact that he wasn't even in the 11 and not even in the 18.
Martins, good pace, but well defended by Justin Meram, who has become known over the last year or so for his offensive prowess. He's also a guy that does a lot of work off the ball. And a heady play by him. Higuain. Francis. It's a pretty good service, but well defended away from Evans. And that's going to do it. 45 minutes and 60 seconds of stoppage time in the books. And as the teams head towards their respective locker rooms, they do so on level terms, 1-1.
I think Columbus is a little upset they didn't take advantage when they were really in full throttle, crescendoing. Probably could have had 2 or 3 goals. Of course, you know, as good as that guy is, all it takes is one chance. Tying the score at 1 should be a fun second half.
Ashley down on the field. Have a chance to get the first half perspective from Mohamed Saeed.
Well, Mo, just talk about the back and forth of this match and also how it's been pretty physical so far in the first 45.
I think it's a good game. We're both trying to score a lot of goals and try to keep the ball as well when we do have it. And it's a physical game too.
Seattle has shown that they are a strong team in the second half. What do you guys got to do to put this one away?
We're creating chances, but we just got to take them. It's near enough the same every match. We create a lot of chances, but it's just the final piece that's missing.
Mohamed Saeed, thank you. Guys?
All right, Ashley, echoing the words of one Neil Sika. Take care of the chances they're creating because they're much more spread out into distributing the ball evenly.
Yeah, it's usually the opposite that we're tending to see from these clubs. Seattle trying to keep narrow, but as any good team will adjust to what they're given, they have. Second half underway.
A lot of running on the part of Waylon Francis and Hector Jimenez in the first half. It is cloudy and become breezy, but it's still humid. We'll see how that not only impacts those two wide defenders, but also the Seattle Sounders, who last weekend played in New York, chose to go back home and then fly here. Pogatetz, a couple of touches. Meram had an opportunity in the first half on his left shoe, just didn't quite get enough, though it still did force a good diving save from Stefan Fry. Pretty tight quarters there for Jimenez to navigate, but it is a throw-in. Sigi Schmid came out relatively early from the locker room. Clearly had taken care of what he saw in the first half, delivered the message. Pipa fouled, helped back up by Ofemi Martins. Greg Berhalter liked the start of the game, the start that Neil was describing, but has to be disappointed about the chances unfulfilled.
Columbus is going to be an elite team as Seattle. It's going to be closer to that aspect now. They've won the Supporters' Shield. They've won Open Cups. They feel it's their time to win a cup. You need to start making even the best pay when you have that opportunity.
Restart didn't pan out well, though. Another ball back from midfield by Saeed floats right into the center of the penalty area. Stefan Fry grabs it. Michael Parkhurst. Who are undefeated this season when scoring first in a match. They do have a draw, but they do not, once they gain the lead, often give it up. Johnny took his shot. Picks up, rubbing the back of his leg, appears to be okay. Finley receives the forward pass, but he's double teamed. Nifty little touch from Higuain. Well defended. Out of bounds by Fry. Francis on the left side of Parkhurst. Here does a 180. He's going to shoot from distance. Picked up a deflection. Did the shot on its way. And to the quarter arc, Columbus Crew SC shall go.
Great switch of the field by Parkhurst. And in turn, a fine turn by Justin Merrim.
Brought to you is this corner kick by Thrifty Airport Parking. Thrifty's valet service takes the hassle out of airport parking. The ball on its way. Bounces out the back door. Tracked down by Finley. He'll ping it back in. Pogatetz can't get there. Higuain pump fakes. Still on the move. Now he shoots it!
Fantastic wins they had in their last two at home. Might not have been as involved on the score sheet. Seattle is so ready for this to be a set piece delivered back or a quick ball in. Take the dribble on the space given to you. And it's just classy from Pipa. Knocking in his second of the year. But it starts on a good initial ball into the penalty area. The deflection, it wasn't fully cleared. You run the risk and the danger of something else going wrong if you're Seattle's defense. And Higuain makes him pay.
Quite in contrast to DC United's first goal last weekend that resulted on a counterattack from a Columbus Crew SC attacking corner kick. This time, the ball came all the way across the field, went back the width of the penalty area, and eventually ended up in the back of the net. When the first ball doesn't work, it makes the second ball that much more important. And on this occasion, Columbus Crew SC was able to maintain possession. How Pipa's shot was able to find its way through all those legs. Because they were still back, Seattle Sounders, from defending the initial corner kick. So good start to the second half. He overstates the obvious. Evans cleans up in behind Marshall. And Alonso almost lost the ball and then does on his attempted back pass. Mira has got help to his right. Kamara's wide open. Gets the pass. Shoots it right at Fry.
Kamara wants that just a bit earlier. It allowed Chad Marshall to slide over and do a nice job really taking away the only angle and option that Kamara had on the shot.
And Chad Marshall really came in and took away any hope of going to the back post.
Exactly.
Had Kamara tried to do that, the big guy would have blocked it. So for the second time this evening, Seattle playing from a goal down. This is a veteran side, whether you're talking about their older or younger players. These guys have been through it. They will stay with what they do well. Late run from Finley, right in the middle, got the ball. Kai Kamara runs in front of him, opens up space, and then Finley, rather than going to goal, made the unselfish play for Kamara, who ran out of real estate.
Well, I'm stunned because I thought Stephen Fry was just going to continue to slide over and watch Kai Kamara. And Finley was going to have one on easy street to roll it down the middle. That's an excellent run by Kamara. It turns Chad Marshall around. And another opportunity to extend the lead. It was a great tackle by Pogatetz on the other end. They almost bit and got drawn in. But Francis slid over well, and Pogatetz won his individual challenge.
And the run of Kai Kamara, obviously the end result is what we focus on. But keep in mind, when Columbus Crew SC got the ball at midfield, Kamara ran to the far flank, which opened up the center channel, which was then exploited by Finley, and then Kamara worked his way back across. Very good movement off the ball. Kamara goes down hard, losing his balance as he went up to get that ball out of the air. Slow to rise, but appears to be okay. Such a tremendous work rate.
Well, we were talking to him earlier in the season, having a discussion. Might have seen it on Access Crew SC. The implementation of what he learned the first time around under Ziggy Schmid, and then finally putting that into practice when he was at Sporting Kansas City, when he really broke out as a player. The light finally clicked on, and all those lessons. He owes a big piece of his success to what he learned under Seattle's Kaiser.
And he spoke openly about that when he came back.
Sure.
He said, I'm not the same player I was here previously. Well, all the good parts of that Kai Kamara are still here, plus some other features. Martins, he's got a little bit of space. It's a good pass into the box. In late comes Jimenez. As perhaps Papa was just a heartbeat slow.
That's a great recovery by Hector Jimenez to get back and break that up.
Jimenez comes up the touch line in front of the sporting director and head coach, and also our Ashley Ignelzi.
Well, guys, even before and after the goal, Greg Berhalter has really just been encouraging his guys to be aware of the tempo of this game. And the other thing I noticed is he's very happy with the play from Mohamed Saeed. Every time Tony Tchani gets forward, you'll see Mohamed Saeed drop back and join that back line. He really likes what he's seeing from Mo tonight.
Yeah, outside of the Dempsey goal, he's been great.
The heat map tells no lies. Just 10 minutes into the second half, and already it's a much more well-distributed Columbus Crew SC. Menace that ball was still connecting to some paint. The whole of the ball just crossed the whole of the line.
And it's a small thing, but going back to that last Seattle attack that Jimenez broke up, now the understanding of Tchani and Saeed for playing so many games, they knew that ball had to go through the middle. Pogatetz got a little greedy trying to swap the field there when they had numbers right in front to continue to progress the attack.
Tyson Wall being called back from the Columbus Crew SC warm-up area. One little thunderstorm that was to the east side of the stadium has moved away and actually become a much larger line of storms, but not going to impact the stadium here tonight. Space in the center for Pipa. Finds Finley. Great cut move. Bless his heart.
Yeah, there's nothing more you can say. It's got to be finished. Remick so advanced, and that is a big no-no with Finley's speed. You go with power there, but
I tell you, looking at that second angle, Neil, I'm wondering, because of the length of Stephen Fry,
that's true.
If
trying to drag it back across,
if Ethan felt he had to get some air underneath it to beat the very talented Seattle goalkeeper. But boy, was that first step inside the box when he cut around Chad Marshall quick. And I think we're still seeing the evolution of this team. And you and I get to spend more time with Greg Berhalter and the staff than most folks, obviously. They still talk about this. This is an evolution.
Yeah.
This is not an arrival.
Trying to think back to that game last year in Seattle, and they're 3-0, and you're thinking, oh, the arrival, and then they didn't win. They won once in 17 games.
What a great touch from Meram to set this up. Back post. No, instead it's Kamara. Whatever the halftime message was from Greg Berhalter and his staff, Neil, it worked.
The proof is in the pudding. It's the flanks that are being exposed right now. Finley and Meram's runs. That's an excellent job by Jimenez to realize there's a wide open unmarked Kamara for the brace.
And watch the technical proficiency of this touch. Stable in the upper body, got the foot off the ground so as the ball was skipping, he could play through the top half to keep it down. 7th goal of the season, 2nd tonight, and he's on my fantasy team. Good.
You win. For as often as the frustration may build with as many opportunities this team creates, they don't get fazed by it. 14 shots in the first half, probably could have had 2 or 3 goals. Look at what they have been able to accomplish now in the first quarter hour of the second half. Deadly runs by Finley and Meram, again out wide. Seattle, knowing that they don't have maybe the speed of a guy like Yedlin, who's now at Tottenham from a year ago. Mears, more conservative, a veteran. Remick's still coming into it, and they have exploited that, but now trying to get back in it.
We mentioned it after the second goal scored by Columbus Crew SC. The Seattle team isn't going to go away. They're too talented. They're too experienced, well coached. See the front of the back of Tyson Wall there. He gets ready to come in. Great crowd here at Mopre Stadium tonight. On the hour, it's 3-1. Columbus Crew SC. A pair of Kai Kamara strikes sandwiched in between those. A Federico Higuain goal. Clint Dempsey tallied for the Sounders. He's on the ball now. More time he spends out around the center circle, the better it is for Columbus Crew SC defensively. Get late at RFK, still 1-1. Alonso. Right up the middle comes Seattle. Martins. Is that good pace? Ball served in. Pogatetz. Right in front of Ofemi Martins. Nods the ball clear.
Again, very good balance defensively. Even if that works out wide, Pogatetz has really had a fantastic game.
The substitutions brought to you by Papa John's Pizza. There is no substitution for fresh ingredients. Better ingredients. Better pizza. Papa John's. The dejected Marco Papa will exit. In his stead comes Lamar Nagel.
Nagel's had some great games against Columbus, including one of only 2 hat tricks in club history. 6-2 score in August of 2011. Therein lies still the deficiencies of when you have Papa and you're trying to create offensively. sometimes you lose a little bit of the defensive integrity. And how about this guy, Mohamed Saeed? Biggest task of the season, and I think he did a pretty solid job, all things considered.
We'll see how Columbus Crew SC adjusts to Saeed exiting. And initially, it actually looks like Michael Parkhurst, who has stepped up in front of Pogatetz and Wall.
Strengthen that spine.
One beyond the reach of Nagel and offside.
Of course, Tyson Wall, no stranger to the Sounders, playing there for 3 seasons, over 30 games. 10-year veteran and MLS journeyman.
Parkhurst begins to step up the field. Big announcement in the last couple of days. 6-time La Liga champion Valencia is coming here to Mapfre Stadium. Ethan Finley is offside, though the ball was finished in the end by Kamara. Game will be on May 27th at 7:30. Here's another look at the offside. And it is the correct call. '65th minute, still a long way to go in this one. Ball over the top, and Kamara is offside.
Already 2 braces this year, sitting on the hat trick. Watch the trends of when they have had their successful attacks tonight. It's been the ability to keep the width in the final third, to stretch a guy like Brad Evans, who's still learning the position for all intents and purposes, under a pretty good tutelage and a good buddy in Chad Marshall. That in turn makes it tougher on the fullbacks.
Nordecke serenading the match at the moment. Mentioned Valencia coming in. Of course, a critical time for leagues around the world here in May, wrapping them up. The whole relegation situation. Fans like the technical proficiency of the sporting director on the bench.
Looking forward to seeing Los Che. They're 4th in La Liga right now. Tied Real Madrid today. 2-2.
Still got it. Femi Martins flights the ball to Remick on the near side. Ball goes right into the back of Jimenez. Talked about the evolution of this Columbus Crew SC team. I think Hector Jimenez is a very telling point. This was a technical attacking player out of the midfield predominantly, suddenly finds himself in back. Cross, and Tyson Wall is there. Martins was nearby. Not quite over at RFK. Healthy amount of stoppage time in that 1-1 game. Let's take another look at this as Chani comes in to the back of Alonso. Pretty easy decision to be made.
I think those midfielders are anxious now. They know Seattle's going to pour some more numbers forward. We commit the central midfield to to the attack.
Ball in the box. It's a pretty good serving. Defended equally well. In transition, nope. Alonso cuts it off. Great work from him defensively. Mentioned the large amount of stoppage time in RFK because Branzusi suffered apparent head injury, perhaps a concussion. Had to leave the game, of course. Dempsey, oh, that's neat from him. Martins tried to spin Wall out of the way for Dempsey to come through. Didn't quite pan out. And then Kamara's flipped in the heels. Become a member of Columbus Crew SC today and join us as we celebrate the 20th season of Major League Soccer. Season ticket members receive exclusive benefits like ticket exchange privileges, merchandise offers, pre-sale opportunities, and more. Visit ColumbusCrewSC.com or call us 614-447-2739. Game now goes final at RFK. Some results going the way of Columbus Crew SC. You mentioned already Chicago falls today. DC United does get the draw, so they get a point.
As we round into the third month of the season, you start to get a better indication maybe who's going to be the contender, who will be the pretenders. See New England kind of vault up, although they had a late game collapse defensively last night against Orlando.
Opportunity presents itself. And taking no chances on the clearing touch as the ball is headed away by Remick. And now the second change is Barrett will come in, add a little more veteran attacking presence. Andy Rose will call it a night.
Career high 7 goals for Barrett last year. 11th year out of UCLA. Go back to that point I was just discussing. Columbus is in that conversation. We've seen them play that well at home, Dwight. It's going to be implying that, taking it on the road. I have a chance to do that next week when they head to Avaya Stadium, assuming they close this out.
That quarter kick looked a little like an activity like, well, I don't know, Pilates or something, the way legs were sticking up all over the place. Another try, 70th minute. In tight and away. Not out of danger. Martins is on the ball, so good at his feet. Uses his body well, then cuts the other direction, plays the quick outlet, and that's beautiful stuff from Ofemi Martins. Dempsey on the attack, slows and brings the man into play who played him the ball. From the right side. Ball in low. Barrett, first touch, takes him away from target. Second cross is deeper. Dempsey's there. Not a clean touch. And perhaps deflected in part by Ethan Finley.
Well, that's just an excellent job getting your body in front. Dempsey's trying to snap that down. Good defensive transition in the end. Seattle's just keeping the ball.
Yeah, and Seattle hasn't, because of all of that, Neil, Seattle hasn't really been able to find their rhythm in the second half.
Things were slow to start in the second half. You needed an enzyme, a catalyst, something to really spark it to life. Mira makes that nice turn. You get the corner. Higuain creates with all that space. Seattle still will probably go back and look at for as defensively sound as they usually are. And not stepping out to upend that when the game opened up.
The game's gotten away from Columbus Crew SC a little bit over the last several minutes. See if they can find their way back into a more consistent attacking flow. That's how they're built. They're not designed to sit back and try and protect the lead. Good move there in the turn. In the box, centering pass. Managed to go pretty much straight up in the air. And then Clark, like just chasing butterflies. Grab that butterfly net.
chase butterfly?
Snipes, not butterfly. You on snipe button? Mirror's got a lot of space. Quick-footed, right-footed shot. Oh, lovely save.
I don't know how he got that away in a crowd of 3 right at the top of the penalty arc.
We were applauding the solo effort of Martins, and now Miram.
Broke down Brad Evans on that run for the 3rd. Just that little deft outsole touch to create that opportunity. And now another corner.
And a really nice save for Stefan Frey. Full extension, carried the ball wide. Had both hands to the ball. Service. Header! Kamara that close to the hat trick.
That was confidence and belief from Kai Kamara. Might have missed, but it's something that's been lacking on the set pieces. I'm sure the service could probably be a little bit better over the course of the 8 games. Just a step or 2 one way, and then the thought process in that I'm going to finish this off.
Still a couple of substitutions available to Columbus Crew SC, should they so desire. The first of the 3 is that man, Tyson Wall. Replaced Saeed. Attacking Miram. He's got help on his left. Francis brings the ball in. Marshall heads it up and out. And swatted to the halfway line. Martin, Dempsey, Barrett on the right side. Half hour in. FC Dallas, LA Galaxy scoreless. Barrett's come in very, very active as a substitute. This cross is long. Nagel back out top, ball's in the box. Somebody needs to shoot it for Seattle. Not yet. Martins is in, he's onside, save, rebound. And Clint Dempsey matches the number on the back of his jersey. That got ugly very quickly for Columbus Crew SC defensively. Siggy Schmidt's team has life in the 75th minute.
They're never out of the woods with these 2 guys.
Well, I tell you what, the initial ball was played. Dempsey appeared to be in an offside position. The shot was taken by Martins. The save came, and then Dempsey finished it. And now it's on the big screen. And Columbus Crew SC players are going nuts.
There's 4 or 5 yards of separation in the penalty area. Let's look at it again. Now Martins is on when that ball is played. Dempsey is not. And if he's involved in the play, off the deflection, of course, if they're saying that it's played by Clark.
Well, he clearly gained an advantage by being in that position.
Sure.
Columbus was preparing to bring Aaron Schoenfeld in, but I'm not sure if they're going to go through with that move at this point, now that it's a 1-goal game.
Yellow cards to Kamara and Pineda.
All right, we'll see what this does for the final quarter hour of play.
Call more often than not, though. I think it's a benefit of the doubt defensively, especially at home.
So Dempsey, like Kamara, has 2. They boo Dempsey now, but he's back here scoring goals for the United States against Mexico. He'll be loudly cheered.
important to keep the composure. The frustration is there. And rightfully so with Columbus. But still, 13 more minutes. Even if you're Columbus, there's more goals out there.
Yep. Restart in the box. Tyson Wall thinking the ball was last played by a teammate. Acrobatically swats it aside instead of a corner kick. It's a throw-in for Seattle. Into the box. Here comes Marshall. Clark is there. The pair collide. Marshall's called for, take that back, I was going to say for the foul, but no, the flag is up for offside. It does look like Marshall was in touch early.
The best aerial targets in the league.
Kamara can keep up. Hiram's running at the back post, and Federico Higuain really frustrated with himself. Not what he had intended to do, play a ball directly to Stefan Frei. Very little play right now in the mid-third. Just kind of stretched out from one attacking end to the other. Barrett. Off of Jimenez. Attacking, throw it on the left side.
I say now defensively with Michael Parker's not really aching to going forward. Now he's played right back before, but Columbus has defended that zone 14, that central channel above the area so well for the majority of the game.
Tonight you can vote for Barbasol Man of the Match. We'd love to hear from you. Visit columbuscrewsc.com/Barbasol or tweet #Barbasol. One of the following players' names is available to you. Hiram, Higuain, Findlay, and Kamara. Stay tuned. We'll announce the winner of the fan vote just a little bit. Course of a 34-match season, you're going to get some calls and you're going to have some go against you, and that is certainly what the home side is feeling right now on that second Seattle goal. But credit to Clint Dempsey, who was clinical on the finish in front of goal. Let the officials sort out whether he was onside or not. But shove that ball into the old onion bag.
The bigger question is how fast can you put it behind you? There's still 10 minutes to serve out of this game.
There seemed to almost be a feeling of resolution when it went to 3-1.
But it's not Philadelphia. And apologies to Union fans. They're in a downward spiral right now. This team is one of the most dangerous in the league for a reason.
This is the most consistent attacking pressure that Seattle's been able to muster over the course of the evening. Now they got a corner. Allows them to get, among others, a very dangerous Chad Marshall. Into the penalty area. Way up and over the top. Corner kick again. again. Ball out. Still attacking Seattle. Good run into the box. Shot is blocked. Finley away. Columbus Crew SC really out of sorts right now.
They're reeling right now. Jimenez doing a fine job to get back on that. Good job of Clark to call off Kovacevic. But it nearly happened again like it did in D.C. Explain a bit.
Keeper has Francis sprinting to his left. Shawnee on the backside. Boy, he brought that ball down beautifully, but couldn't get another touch on it.
Going back on that last corner, Steve Clark comes out to punch, but in the way the Crew alignment is defensively, they'll kind of stack four, the more zonal positioning, the big guys, and let your midfielders, field players run around and chase the open runs. Sometimes if they're standing like flagpoles, you're going to have collisions like that. Communication so important.
And now that substitution will occur. Aaron Schoenfeld in. Kai Kamara will exit. Kamara with 2 goals, minutes 10 and 58. Higuain scored in the 50th. Clint Dempsey, minutes 24 and 75. To keep Seattle, though, on the road in the game.
Ran so brilliantly, Kamara. That's for Schoenfeld, his task, now using his size with all the balls that Seattle's begun to whip into the penalty area, but pressure legs leading out when they do counter.
Crew SC needs to get the ball and needs to spend some time attacking, not just the occasional transition opportunity. They need to run the clock with the ball at the other end of the park. Right now they're defending Ofemi Martins. Nifty pass out wide, sliding effort from Finley. Good news is he got the touch. Bad news is it's another corner kick. Fifth corner of the night for Seattle. Outswinger. Top of the box. Alonso back pedals a touch, then floats it into the penalty area. Marshall, great little touch along, right in front. Shot is saved, ball is spilled, and Finley sends it out.
What a reaction by Steve Clark. At first, I thought he was a little hesitant. But if he steps out a little too early, Mears will roll that underneath him. Great little flick by Marshall.
Yes, it was.
Just taking one right in the breadbasket.
Finley's outlet went out of bounds, but Crew given a foul against Brad Evans that the replay doesn't seem to support. Tristan Steindorsen will come in shortly. Headed touch finds Higuain. Tripped from behind. Whistle blows. Free kick coming. We're in the 87th minute. Jimenez comes over to the bench to get a drink of water, and Greg Berhalter in his ear while he does. There's another look at the foul. Four-man wall is the request of Fry.
Next one.
Plenty of options here. Federico obviously could shoot. He's got Finley to his right. He's going to shoot. Struck it really well over the wall and targeted the upper 90 far post, but Fry was standing there waiting.
Yeah, he was expecting that.
Barrett for Seattle, but not before this exchange takes place for Columbus Crew SC. Steindorsen and Justin Mira will call it a night.
Excellent runs in the second half. Oh, he loves playing against this caliber of opponents. The spotlight on him a year ago. Sets up the third goal. Almost scored one of his own. A much improved game from a week ago on his defensive end from DC.
See what Columbus Crew SC can do on this opportunity. Higuain attracts some attention. Francis penetrates into open space.
Two great leak-out balls by Francis in the last couple of minutes.
Johnny. This is better. Oh, well done! Another outstanding save by Stefan Fry, who's denied a couple to keep his team within a goal.
Oh, thriller. Greg Berhalter can't believe it. This is why Jimenez started tonight. Final ball, great dummy, Higuain. Steindorsen constantly talked White about his ability in the preseason to come in late. Took that right towards Fry.
Short corner, lost out of bounds. Columbus Crew SC. Back into the center, bodies to the ground. Shawnee, wide open, Steindorsen right in the center of the box. And now Seattle finds him. In the 90th minute, Pipa trying to pull off some snazzy stuff in the corner, doesn't quite work out.
Just bank that off Remick, earn yourself a corner kick.
Next home game for Columbus Crew SC comes up here at Montbray Stadium. Chicago Fire in Friday, May 22nd at 8 p.m. Happy hour includes $2 hot dogs, $4 beers. It's all in the plaza from 6:30 to 7:30. Visit ColumbusCrewSC.com.
Maybe a little fatigue on Chani. The crafty play of Martins just reaching a bit.
4 minutes of time added. So there's still a ways to go in this one. Alonso pings it into the box. Over the end line, goal kick. So give the home side opportunity to run 20-25 seconds off the clock. Pogatet's having a word with the referee, who's keeping an eye on Clark. Understandably so, since the Crew SC goalkeeper came all the way out to the top of the box after the ball was out of bounds. He's going to take every last second he can get it. Still time to get your questions and comments about tonight's match in. At Neil Sika, at Dwight Burgess, at Ashley Agnelsi, 21. Schoenfeld's booked.
A little too physical, engaging with Brad Evans.
Going to halftime in Dallas, scoreless with the Galaxy. Marshall heads it along towards the end line. Jimenez is there. It's tapped away from him. Now Finley does well not to let that ball end up a corner kick.
Well done.
And Sean find Higuain. How about that ball? Just a heartbeat behind Pipa. If he's able to take that off his chest and attack, he's going straight to goal. Couldn't, and then has the composure to just to wait. Look how far back he is now working.
Such a smart play to hold that up. Kill off precious seconds. I'll tell you, when the going got tough after that second goal by Seattle, they had their fair share of play trying to come down the left. Jimenez and Finley have really dug in defensively to do fine work.
We're in the 93rd minute. There'll be a minimum of 94 at the discretion of the referee. It is 3-2. Columbus has never trailed in this game. Crew SC were up 1-0. It was tied at 1, then went 3-1, now at 3-2. And that's nippy stuff there from Tony Tchani.
They're chasing after you. They're tired. Both teams are.
Columbus Crew SC still looking for their very first win ever at MAPFRE Stadium over Seattle. It's actually been a very good series between these two teams. It's unfortunate they just play once a year.
Always seen good games. Well, who knows? We're 9 games in, but
yeah,
going a deep playoff run?
Sure.
Who wouldn't watch this MLS Cup if they played?
Everybody would.
Well, everyone would, but in terms of the flair and theater of good soccer.
Sure, absolutely. Maybe an opportunity for Seattle to muster one last attack. Clock is still to the good for them. Evans. Pogatet's away for Columbus Crew SC.
Tell you what, for me, Pogatet has been a monster in the air tonight. There's all this talk about Chad Marshall coming back to MAPFRE Stadium, how good he is in the air, and he's excellent. But Pogatet, this is one of his better games of the season.
The balance of this one is on the wristwatch of the referee. And he's seen enough. So Columbus Crew SC rebound from a tough loss at RFK. And here at home beat a very, very good Seattle Sounders side by a 3-2 scoreline.
We thought it would be a great game. We saw both teams at their strengths. Sometimes things going a little unorthodox for both clubs. Controversial second goal by Seattle, which made this a lot more interesting over the last 18 minutes or so. But this is now a place that is very hard for the opposition to come in and win.
And as we talked about, plenty of help around the Eastern Conference. Chicago loses, DC United draws. So Columbus Crew SC picks up 3 and 2 points respectively on those clubs. And that's important because Chicago had a game in hand.